Hiya, I'm Laura, I'm one of the BALTIC Crew, and this is Heather Phillipson's The Age of Love. Heather Phillipson is a London-based artist, and this is the second time she's been at BALTIC, and this is the result, a multi-channel installation. So Heather is really concerned with animals and animal rights, and her concerns about this have kind of amalgamated into this exhibition. So what she's kind of done is put us into almost an animal type perspective. So as you walk in the exhibition, you have to walk in the route that she dictates for you, past these cattle grids. So you're very much being herded like cattle down towards the main installation. So when we come into the middle of the exhibition, Heather's created this kind of dystopian, utopian kind of rave, fantasy kind of environment. So behind me you can see the giant foot revolving, so that kind of harks back to like a past time and like a giant statue that's foot's being broken off. But then over the other shoulder have like a psychedelic ever-present cat that's kind of making you feel like the prey or like a small animal that's kind of been herded into the space. This is an 1,000-year-old stone trough. And then she's put water inside it, but the water is actually a projection. So you've got reality, and then you've got the projection, which is obviously false, but it gives the kind of same idea. So this is how she kind of creates this otherworldly kind of aspect to the exhibition. She's also got gravel on the floor that you can walk on, so you've kind of got that crunching underfoot like you're outside even though you're in a gallery. So by mixing kind of the videos and the lights and the music and like real elements like the stones, it creates a hyper-real experience. So on the screens around the space, again, we've got more animals along with the psychedelic patterning, and that kind of fits in with the beat of the lights and the soundtrack of The Age of Love. But again, what she's trying to do is kind of make us think about animals in a different way. So she purposefully uses animals that we can't project emotions onto. So she uses like slugs, which look kind of slightly alien, or ants. And then also she uses quite a lot of panthers and cats again. And then it's this idea again of making you feel like you're the prey, or you're like being looked at in a different way. So Heather's also peopled the space with, we've already talked about the cattle grids, so she's also peopled the space with other kind of agricultural kind of elements. So we've got a potato conveyor belt, we've got a potato sorter up in the gallery on 5, and we've got the silo where the music emanates from. And we also have some fake compost and manure smell as well, just to give you that smell of the farmyard as well. But The Age of Love that's kind of emanating from this silo, it was the most remixed dance track of the 90s, and Heather's done her own Kitty-Wake remix. She likes to use an element of where she's exhibiting in her work. So for BALTIC, we have the Kitty-Wakes that come and nest here every year between June and September. We did try to relocate them, but they like the side of our building too much, so they've stayed here. Like, animals don't really know that there's rules, so that's why she's used the Kitty-Wakes. And as you go around the exhibition, you can see the screens that she's taken images of the Kitty-Wakes while they've been here at BALTIC over the summer, and that's why the Kitty-Wake noise kind of comes over the top of the Age of Love remix. But the idea of using a rave track was because she feels sad about the state of the world and all the things that are going on at the minute, and she's not very happy about how we treat animals. But instead of being negative about it, instead of kind of making a dreary exhibition, she's kind of come up with a kind of more positive twist on it. So she's turned it into like a rave, which in her head is like communal, so we can all come in here and dance about under the silo in kind of the animal environment and think about things, but in a more positive way, like how are we going to go forward in the future, as opposed to get upset about it. So at the back of the exhibition, this is Wow Grass, and this is Heather Phillipson's ode to grass. So what it does is it brings you down to like a macro level, so the grass is very high and like towering above you, so this kind of same playing with scale that she's done in the main exhibition. And it just makes you think about grass. It's a fairly mundane thing that we take advantage of and just kind of walk over and don't really think about. And she makes us think about how amazing it actually is and how amazing life in the world is. And to take all this in, you can actually sit on our lovely, warmly lit riverbank, which is made from wood chips. So yet again, she's giving you this ideas of like textures to feel and interact with while you're actually viewing the exhibition, to kind of give this multi-sensory, hyper-real experience.